Hard work, Bobby Walker.
That might be the greatest. That is like the lamest. It's so lame. It becomes great. That's how lame that name is. Hard work, Bobby Walker. If they would have called him Token,
Oh.
that's basically what they said. Hard work, Bobby Walker. Without even seeing the guy, you know he's African American. And like you might as well called him Token for all of that because my God, I've never seen such a generic looking African American wrestler.
Hey, here's a note about this Raw. Here's a note. A tag team called the Hardy Brothers. Matt and Chip Hardy got a tryout match at the latest Raw tapings from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. They looked pretty green. I think they've got the name wrong here. I think that's Jeff Hardy. I think. Or maybe Jeff is going by Chip. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't think they will amount to anything. What about you?
It's just a stupid name, the Hardy Brothers.
I know. It'll never work. I feel like it's already broken.
Very nice. It should be the Hard Work Brothers. Then they might go somewhere. That's what
exactly. You need that hard work, Bobby Walker. I'm sorry. By the time this stream is over, hard work Bobby Walker might be the MVP because of that name. Because of that name has popped me so much. Hard work Bobby Walker. I'm gonna change my name one year.
This week in the Monday Night War, it is June 3rd, 1996. WWF Monday Night Raw continues the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. And over on Nitro, they got the tag team titles on the line. The Steiner Brothers versus Sting and Luger. Romeo, SP3. This is True Rewind 58. Taste of Chocolate.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
This is True Rewind. This is True Rewind.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We are back in the DeLorean. Pump up the flux capacitor for episode 58 of True Rewind, the Taste of Chocolate. And boy, oh boy, what a taste it is, as we're going to be talking about the June 3rd, 1996 episodes of WWF Raw and WCW Nitro, and we will decide what was the better show for the week. I am back once again with the pilot, the driver of the DeLorean, the conductor of reporting himself, the ace in the face of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Hard work, Romeo.
What is up, everyone? Fresh off of my New York Jets defeating top guy JJ's Titans. Titan down. Oof, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, don't you? Hate to see it, ladies and gentlemen. And my fantasy team is about to lose because the person I'm playing has a player on Monday Night Football, and I'm only up by like 1 point, so I'll probably lose. But this is the breaks and the stuff that we deal with during NFL season. But we are here to talk about both shows from 1996. But before we do that, we want to thank everyone who joined us over the weekend for True Hill Heat 145 with special guest Dutch Mantel. We learned a lot about Dutch Mantel. We learned a lot about his career, learned a lot about the territory era and, his time in WWF and WWE and Impact Wrestling. We talked about the latest wrestling news, but There was so much to unpack in True Hill Heat 145. We forgot one of the biggest announcements. So we broke it on our community wall first for our subscribers, our low subscribers of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Over 1,600 of you here. And we broke it on our social media on the True Hill Heat, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. But we got to say it on the YouTube channel on a video. So yes, you can now become a part of the movement even more. Not only will your super chats help us out so much by, donating to the channel directly, but now you get special content because True Hill Heat has just launched its Patreon account, www.patreon.com/True Hill Heat. You can become a $3 a month backer, just $3 a month, and you can enjoy bonus content, not only just, podcasts like True Rewind. We're gonna have True Rewind cuts, more of like watch-alongs of the bigger pay-per-views on our Patreon. We're going to do True Hill Heat post-show on our Patreon. This week, we are bringing back one of your favorites, one of the best knowledge-based people that we've had on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. A man from Washington Heights that knows New Japan so well. Miss Chrissy Love thought that he was from Japan. J News will return for J News Japan. Me and J News will team up and do a special on the G1 Climax 31. We're going to tell you all the matches that you might have missed, all the matches you must watch, and we're going to do predictions for the finals as we're more than halfway through the premier tournament in professional wrestling. J News Japan G1 Climax 31 special part 1 will be up on our Patreon this week. We're also going to do a review of Heels, starring Stephen Amell, CM Punk, Mick Foley have been on the show so far. Me and Chris G will be doing a review of the entire season following the finale next Sunday, so you can look forward to that next week on our Patreon account. We're even going to hit live videos and pictures from upcoming events, Romeo. AEW Dynamite, Drunk Guy JJ is going to be there live. He's going to take exclusive videos. We're going to have spoilers for Rampage, so people that don't like to wait, that like to ruin stuff before it airs on television, we will have Rampage spoilers on our Patreon account. Our Patreon account is where you can see more of True Hill Heat, but most of all, it's where you can support us even more. I know our good brother hard work Bearcat Blue has already become a Patreon backer. Steve Stalvich has already become a Patreon backer. Antoine has already become a Patreon backer. The love of your life, Yari, has already become a Patreon backer. The king of UK wrestling media, Alex McCarthy, has already become a Patreon backer. So you need to do the same and go over and support the Patreon account, because there's going to be so much content coming to you that you won't see on the True Hill Heat Weekly, because we have enough content on our channel alone daily. We gotta put some more on the Patreon account. So thank you to everyone who has requested this, everyone that has made this possible. It's really been months in the making. Romeo could tell you itself, is something that we've talked about as a group for a few months now, but we have finally launched it in a more way to engage with the community that we've built here on YouTube. We can bring it over the Patreon. So I want to thank each and every one of the subscribers, the supporters of the channel, because you guys are the reason why it's possible. So go over patreon.com/True Hill Heat and support us there. But I know what you came for. You came to get into DeLorean and to go back in time to the June 3rd, 1996 episodes of Raw and Nitro. Romeo, you are the pilot, the driver of the DeLorean. Take it away.
Raw taped from Fayetteville, June 3rd, 96. Note here from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. WWF struck back at WCW this week.
Oh boy.
Vince McMahon. Now, I didn't hear this during the broadcast. Maybe I missed it, or maybe you caught it. But it says here, Vince McMahon read a prepared lawyer's statement.
I got it.
Okay.
Wait, let me just find it here, because I did take note of this, because I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. This is pretty interesting. Damn it, I don't know what match it was during, but basically he said, there are two superstars, Razor Ramon and Diesel, who used to be with the WWF, that are using our intellectual property and claiming that they are from our organization while being on a rival promotion. They have no connection to us whatsoever. I was just like, man, you're just putting over your competition. You're making me want to turn the channel to WCW Nitro
Even
by
without
even
saying their name.
Yeah, exactly, by even acknowledging this and telling me that Diesel and Razor Ramon are on a rival promotion. You're making me turn the channel, Vince.
My favorite line was that the World Wrestling Federation wants to make it clear that there is no agreement with the Turner organization, nor will there ever be.
My, how things change.
Then we get a tease of what's to come with well, that was a bad choice of words. Goldust. What did he say? What did Goldust say?
Mr. Johnson, amidst the lights, the cameras, the action, I saved your life, and you were perturbed, and now you want my title? While he has his title over his crotch area, he says, well, here it is. Come and get it.
Were they also ribbing Shawn Michaels here because he just did Playgirl with the same exact
Pretty
pose?
much with the WWF title over his crotch area. Pretty much, yeah.
All right, we start with King of the Ring first round. Bob, Sparkplug, Holly, just looking for a payday after getting, strung up by Ahmed Johnson last week and into the wall.
He got yoked.
And Ted DiBiase, no longer associated with Stone Cold Steve Austin, driven out of the World Wrestling Federation. And what you could tell was a clear voiceover, because this is taped. They put that in. It was like a different voice, it's like a different tone. Vince McMahon letting everyone know he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, it was at that point that he did put the line in about Razor and Diesel.
There you go. Austin wins with the $1 Million Dream. The crowd pops. You could see the crowd is they're warming up to old Steve Austin very quickly here, and he will meet the winner of Savio Vega versus Marty Jannetty on Superstars.
Interesting. I thought that this was a solid enough matchup. Both guys worked well with one another, and Stone Cold picking up a very needed win after his two losses, one in the dark, one in the light, in the strap matches against Savio Vega at Beware of Dog.
That crowd reaction.
They starting to get over that effort against Savio Vega is starting to convince some fans that he is a person that they should be paying attention to.
Jerry the King Lawler doesn't really like Warriors comic book. He's got a cover of his own. Bam. King comments, and he's just beating up Warrior. Very well drawn.
I believe Jerry the King Lawler is a real life
oh yeah, he's really good
cartoonist. Yeah, so this is probably his own
For
work.
sure.
So job well done, Jerry. I don't know if it's as good as Bret Hart, but you're pretty good. You guys have another competition there.
We can get the Bret Hart fans in the comments now.
Come on, Bret fans.
Barry Horowitz with that stupid music versus Mankind.
That
was probably longer than this match. Mandible Claw, and then we go into much more soothing piano music. It'll be Mankind versus Taker at King of the Ring, and King says you can't play mind games with Mankind. He has no mind. Completely stealing Mankind's line in this interview.
God damn it, King! Like, relax.
Jim Ross interviews him. I believe you take it from here, Sid.
I am hoping. Oh, I did Paul Bearer there. I'm hoping.
This is why we warm up before the show.
Yeah.
Before we go live.
I'm hoping that the Undertaker will finally stand up and show just a little bit of pride. Or maybe before the King of the Ring, he will decide that there is no sense in fighting a man that has nothing left to lose. Undertaker, you can't take my ear. It's already gone. You can't take my teeth. They're already gone. Pulling out his hair. Of all the things I've lost in life, I think I miss my mind the most. And at the King of the Ring, you're gonna lose it all.
I hope the kids aren't sleeping, because if they are, they're awake now. That was brilliantly written and then brilliantly acted by our very own SP3.
That's what I'm here for, ladies and gentlemen. Expert analysis.
Next up, they do a little recap of the Shawn and Bulldog drama. We already know what that is, but I have some notes here from the Wrestling Observer newsletter that are more interesting than that recap. Just in case Vince McMahon's week couldn't get any worse. Don't forget the storm that crippled their pay-per-view last week.
Yeah, you know.
Davey Boy Smith gave his 90-day notice that he plans to leave when his contract expires in August. Word is Smith doesn't actually want to leave, and is just attempting to renegotiate his deal and to get Vince's attention, since Smith is unhappy about some things and has complained in the past to no avail. For now, there are no plans for Smith to go to WCW. It could have come at a worse time for Vince, since Smith is currently the top heel involved in a WWF title picture with Shawn Michaels. There have been rumors of Owen Hart possibly leaving also, but so far he hasn't put in his notice and is still negotiating a new contract. What do you think about that? Well, Bulldog trying to make a little negotiating ploy here.
It's the best time to do it. You know, Razor and Diesel just left, so it's a great time where Vince is going to think that, yeah, he could possibly leave, and I can't afford another guy to leave and go to WCW. So it's a smart move by British Bulldog. I'm not surprised. I wish he could have shared some of his negotiation skills with his brother-in-law, Bret the Hitman Hart, as we would, as later this year, he would sign a 10-year contract that never was going to be put forth and honored, but he still decided to sign it anyway, and it came back to haunt him less than a year later. But British Bulldog is a little bit smarter, and this led to him getting a bigger deal, most likely.
Now, I touched upon this note during our In Your House review, but here's some further details. Speaking of the pay-per-view that was shut down, both Shawn Michaels and Davey Boy were furious about how their match turned out. When they went out there to do their match, they apparently believed the pay-per-view had pretty much been canceled, so they decided to do a house show quality match because they thought they'd get a chance to do the real pay-per-view quality match a couple of days later when they did the makeup pay-per-view. Midway through their match, Earl Hebner got word that they were on the air, and he informed both men they were live, pal, and had to shorten their match to fit the pay-per-view window. Michaels, in particular, felt the match was already beyond redemption, so he pretty much just gave up on it. He also spent much of the match swearing at a heckling fan at ringside and pretty much threw a tantrum during and after the match. Both men were upset that they didn't get to do the rematch on the replay taping, and Dave Meltzer says in retrospect, Vince probably should have just called the original pay-per-view a loss and should have redone the whole thing on Tuesday. There were also issues with some cable companies offering full refunds while others only offered partial refunds, all outside of WWF's control. It's expected that the final buy rate for the Tuesday pay-per-view would be the lowest of all time for either WWF or WCW. It was not, but yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in right there.
Wow. Yeah, man, it's tough because this was totally out of WWF's hands. But yeah, I mean, I think that Savio Vega and Steve Austin, from all we've heard, that they still had a pay-per-view quality match in the goddamn dark. So why didn't Shawn Michaels and Davey Boy Smith decide to do it when it's pretty obvious the lights are back on? Like, it's a difference between what we saw during Savio and Austin on that night and what we saw between British Bulldog and Shawn Michaels. You never assume because you just made an ass of yourself. And that's what Michaels and Davey Boy did. And I said that during our review, that it just seemed like Shawn Michaels' head was somewhere else. Like the main spot that I always point out is when he loses his footing and completely dives under the ring. Like, that could have went totally wrong. He could have become Enzo Amore before Enzo Amore at Payback 2016, but luckily he ducked his head. He went under the bottom rope, but that is so unlike Shawn Michaels to lose his footing in that way, and it just showed that he wasn't totally into the matchup. So
Let us know in the comments if you agree. Do you think Shawn and Bulldog should just went all out, or do you agree with their strategy of just taking it easy and saving it for what they thought was a couple of days later? Next up, the star of the show, the star of the thumbnail of this episode. Oh my goodness!
how many thumbnails has he taken from us?
Like, oh man, he's racking up those MVPs. Vince McMahon asked him, "Where the hell are you right now?" And Goldust,
I'm in my den. Vince said, Vince says what? And Goldust says, I'm poor, I'm black, and I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here. The color purple, 1985.
oh boy, and then what?
Vince asks about the Ahmed Johnson incident.
You claim that you saved Ahmed's life.
Have you ever heard of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? I gave Ahmed Johnson the breath of life. I did what any other caring individual would have done. A man was in trouble, and I simply ran to his aid. What did you want me to do? Allow him to expire?
Expire.
No, I didn't have it in my heart of gold to do that. I only did what came natural. And Vince
Can I
says,
interrupt you for a second?
yeah.
So a lot of thought goes into naming these True Rewind episodes. I wrote down, oh, the breath of life. That's nice. Oh. And then I wrote, what, the golden heart or something you said? The heart of gold.
The heart of gold.
Oh, that's a nice one too. But then I eventually came to what you're going to talk about right now.
So Vince says, all right, come on. Ahmed Johnson didn't need you to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And Goldust says, it gives me a great satisfaction, much like the same satisfaction in which chocolate gives one. The taste in the mouth is exhilarating. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't. I mean, he broke me on that one. And now, Ahmed Johnson, I share that very taste. As he eats a piece of chocolate. The King then says, do you have this one?
Yes, King heard that Goldust is going to get presented with a medal for his efforts. He acted in the same manner as a trained registered nurse.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness. You see, some of the best nurses are male nurses. I have learned some of my best techniques. All right. And Vince is like, what about the match at King of the Ring? Goldust says, at King of the Ring, it will be me and the mighty Mandingo. I gotta repeat that. I'm sorry. It will be me and the mighty Mandingo, one-on-one. Oh my goodness. And I will be holding that golden ticket like fine cadaver. Amen Johnson. Will this time it melt in my hand and not in my mouth? And in the end, you will never, never forget the name of Goldust.
What a promo. Jesus.
Academy Award winning. Like, he called him the Mighty Mandingo.
That was just the last line. Man, a lot of lines in there. A lot of lines.
He called him the Mighty Mandingo. and then he says, "Oh my goodness." And literally, I said that a lot louder than he did. He kind of like said it under his breath. Oh my goodness. like he was shocked that he got to go one-on-one with the Mighty Mandingo.
I wonder how many times like Dustin Rhodes corpses while doing that. How many shots that takes if he makes himself laugh.
I have no idea.
Next up, the Godwins versus Techno Team 2000 with Sonny on commentary, and King just can't help himself. He can't help himself with Sonny right there next to him. He's got to look. Gotta look.
He knows he wants him.
Skip and Zip, they're looking for a new manager. They're so desperate. They need anybody to reach them. Men, women, children. Just send a postcard or something. Let them know that you can manage them. They need somebody. They are lost without Sonny. Huge Sonny chance. Huge. The cameraman's like, oh, I got to get a nice cleavage angle. Let me go like this. Vince McMahon on commentary cock blocks, telling King to get his arm off of Sonny's chair. Sonny doesn't mind. Phineas can't keep his eyes off of her. Sonny says she's being visually harassed by these hillbillies. Henry wins with a slop drop.
And the crowd could not give a shit. All they cared about was Sonny. They did not care about anyone in this match except for Sonny at commentary.
Yes. Same goes for me. Next up,
To be fair,
we had Clarence Mason, who is submitting video footage of him being assaulted by Gorilla Monsoon, as you could see right here, clearly being assaulted.
clearly.
Battery. The funny part here was that Exhibit D was the same exact footage as Exhibit A.
It was just a different angle. It was just a different angle.
His injuries have gotten worse, as you could see with this neck brace. Poor guy. What is up with Uncle Gino physically abusing lawyers out here?
Well, no, he was merely just trying to push him along. He was like an escort, or an usher, trying to direction things. And, Clarence Mason is the one that created that content, that contact there. He was the one that kind of pushed his back up against Uncle Gino's hand. So Uncle Gino has no morals or financial obligation to the healing of Clarence Mason. Clarence Mason, you're my brother. You're my brother 100%, but Uncle Gino is my uncle, and I got to keep it real.
Main event time, first round, King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Jake the Snake Roberts.
Part of me believes this would have been the finals of the King of the Ring if there was no curtain call.
Vince McMahon asked Jerry Lawler to ask Hunter's valet what she thinks of his, and I didn't write this down because this is like words I've never heard of in my life, but basically big ass nose is what he was saying. And damn, now they're bullying his looks because of the curtain call. Jeez, it's not enough that you bury him in the matches.
Nope.
Lawler laughs. Now ask about Vince's toupee. Call the superstar line and pick option 6 to hear Vince McMahon respond to Billionaire Ted's latest corporate raid. Back from commercial, and Jake hits a DDT almost instantly for the win. Jake teases putting his snake inside Hunter's pants.
Oh my God.
Very scary.
What is up with the show?
And the valet shrieks in horror. And that's the show.
we've had a man talk about tasting another man's chocolate and calling him the mighty Mandingo. And then we end the night with another man trying to put his snake down another man's pants.
My goodness.
What a show. What a show.
0 dirty finishes, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley is 0-2 since the curtain call, as we keep track of that.
Yes,
When
the
will he
streak
win again?
continues.
When will he win again? Match of the night, I'm going Holly Austin.
I agree. Unanimous.
MVP, Goldust.
Goldust, number one. Oh my God, what a promo.
And let's see if we have the triple unanimous LVP for me, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Who's yours?
Triple unanimous. Hunter
Unanimous.
Hearst Helmsley. Triple H is the LVP.
Put our thumbs out. And in 3, 2, 1, it'll be thumbs up or thumbs down for this edition of Monday Night Raw. 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down for me, thumbs in the middle from SP3.
I have thumbs down in my notes, but I'm sorry. Repeating that Goldust promo made me realize that this is at least a thumbs in the middle on his performance alone. His performance alone literally stopped this from being a thumbs down show.
Well, we went to this show much faster than the actual experience of watching it, so that's why it's a thumbs down for me. All right, the rating. Last week they did a 2.3. What do you think they did this week?
2.4.
They did a 2.3 again, which is the third week in a row they've done that number.
Not looking good.
No. Let's go over to Nitro live from Asheville, North Carolina. We had a couple of one of the best tag teams from there.
Oh yeah. Daniel and David.
And doesn't a rated R superstar live there too?
Yeah, with a glamazon of some sort.
Look at that. We learn at the beginning of the show that Bobby the Brain Heenan will manage Ric Flair and Arn Anderson at Bash of the Beach.
No, he speculated.
Oh, speculating.
Yeah, the speculation is that he's going to
They
manage.
shouldn't have done that. But they're gonna have that segment later on. There's no need to mention that at the top of the hour.
Hey,
Give
they wanted to build up anticipation, and we also hear that Sting and Luger will defend the WCW World Tag Team titles against the Steiners in the main event.
Mean Gene is feeling physically sick. He's with Shark, who dumped the dumb painted beard. Bubba is in the ring, still with his hair that he cut last week. And Shark says he's not shaving the other side off, and that he's not even Shark anymore. He's not a fish. He's a man named John Tenta. And he's going to hurt Bubba and then shave the head of the Giant. And I'm like, the fuck did the Giant do, asshole? Don't you want to shave Bubba's head? He's the one that shaved it.
He's the one that beat him. If he didn't beat him up, Bubba would have never shaved his head.
That's getting mad at the wrong guy.
Logic.
That's me.
Thinking of logic here, ladies and gentlemen. I would have kept the Shark name. Shark sounds better than John Tenta.
But he's not a fish.
Not a fish. Would have went back to Avalanche or Earthquake, whatever you want to be.
Tenta versus Bubba. And Tony says, fans, you may have seen USA Today ad with Vader and Johnny B. Bad advertised. They no longer play what the big boys play.
With the laugh. With the laugh acting.
Big Bubba gets counted out after Tenta threatens him with scissors. Dirty finish.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest takeaway from this match is Tenta's haircut. I mean, that was, yeah. I understand. I mean, I wouldn't be physically sick like Mean Gene said he was, but yeah, it was very jarring. But this was a nothing match. There was nothing to it. It lasted about 2 minutes, and then Bubba ran off.
And look, he's got a horrible shark tattoo.
Look at that. Look at that. He went full throttle with this gimmick. He should have just kept the Shark name. Or John the Shark Tenta. That sounds better.
It looks like that awful shark is covering up something else. Like, man, what a bad tattoo work there.
Probably an earthquake.
Next up, we got High Voltage, some power plant boys versus Faces of Fear.
I mean, before you even get to this match, I just want to know, I hope you prepared some Dave Meltzer notes. What the fuck did High Voltage do to deserve this?
Nothing yet. No, I don't even know who they are. Maybe one of them is turns out to be something. I don't know. I didn't bother.
They were. I remember them from my time watching WCW as a kid, but I don't remember them getting completely pulverized like they did in this matchup.
Robbie Rage and Kenny Chaos. Mang wins with a mafia kick.
These motherfuckers got the shit beat out of them. That's not an amp description. Like they got stereo headbutts from the top rope. They got the mafia kick. He did not even pull back on that shit. He caught him right in the fucking chin. This was a murder. I did not see High Voltage get one offensive move. This is so different from hard work Bobby Walker, who got a big win last week. This WC or what was it? Max with 2 X's. That damn fool, that green goose who got some offense in on Lex Luger. These dudes got no offense in on Meng and Barbarian. This felt like a hazing more than a match.
My goodness, I'm looking at their Wikipedia, and in the first paragraph, there is a sentence that says they were not successful on WCW Monday Nitro. Sheesh. You gotta put it like that.
To say the least.
Mean Gene is backstage with Sting and Luger, who face the Steiners for the tag titles later. Sting brings up how Lex basically started shit last week, and the Steiners will have a decent point of being upset with them. Lex says if Scott Steiner was Sting's friend, why was he trying to suplex him on the concrete floor?
Valid
friends
point.
Do that to friends?
Valid point.
Rick and Scott enter. Rick is mad at Lex. That was a cheap shot, and he knows it. Lex then asks about the suplex, and Rick says, my brother was trying to win the match. Sting then agrees with Lex all of a sudden.
No, because Lex made a good point. He was like, if Lex was gonna get suplex on the outside, I probably would have jumped in too. See, Sting is a good friend.
Scott Steiner speaks, and I swear I hear the voice. I've been watching NXT 2.0. I hear the voice of Braun Breaker. He sounds just like Scotty.
Well, Scotty, if you close your eyes, you would think he has blonde hair and he's got the chain headdress, because he didn't. People think, oh, he became this whole different character when he turns on his brother. No, he had that in him the whole time. They just unleashed it when he got separated from his brother finally. Because if you close your eyes, you hear the Scott Steiner that would cut the Steiner math promo already.
Lex with a shove that really pisses off Mean Gene. I will never interview you people again if you're gonna come in here like a bunch of. And then he cuts off. That was funny. Mean Gene got pissed.
Gene don't take no shit.
There's a Hulk Hogan hype video saying he's coming for the WCW title on Nitro.
For what? Like that. That's what I say in my notes. I was like, they chose Hulk Hogan for some reason. I don't know.
Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever. Yeah. Versus Sergeant Craig Pittman. And
he's so cocky. He's so cool. Disco dancing fool. When he steps out on the floor, the girls keep screaming because they want more.
Great song. The ref calls for the bell after Disco is about to be put in an armbar or something like that. And Disco just talks to the camera. He's like, I need my arms so I can keep dancing doing all this. I'm not getting that move.
You got to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing it for this entire segment because he said that was his purpose for just tapping out before a submission is even put on him.
I was confused, like, what the F is this fuck finish? But then Disco clearly explained it. It was like, all right, I guess it makes sense. Jeez. All right, fuck it.
He's got to protect his best move. This is his best move. Like this anybody can do, but this takes talent. took me a day to practice this before.
This was more than a bit silly, but I did chuckle a little bit at the end.
I mean, it's got Sergeant Greg Pittman. As long as we're laughing at it, I mean, it did something right.
Next up, Lord Steven Regal with Jeeves versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Huge USA chance against William Regal. Hacksaw tries to cheat the babyface.
Why is Hacksaw always cheating? Always. This motherfucker wants to use a 2x4. He wants to use Tate Fist. Like
Yeah.
William Regal. I mean, it was Lord Steven Regal. He's an upstanding individual. He did not need to cheat here.
Thankfully, somebody else calls him William Regal besides me. All right. Jeez. It's always me. Yeah, thankfully the Blue Bloods interfere, and they prevent him using the 2x4. But then he goes right into taping his wrist because he's got more ways to cheat. And while the ref is distracted, Regal hits him with the most feared move in wrestling. Still, all the way back in 1996, the roll up for the win. Afterwards, Regal interview with Mean Gene, second week in a row, and I'm like, oh shit, are they building new stars here in WCW? Oh my god. Regal on the way up.
See, this is not a push. This is more like a nudge. He's getting the nudge. He's getting the nudge a little bit here. They're trying to get him some heat. You also missed before this match, when they did the what's going to happen next, what's up next. They said that they showed Regal on WCW main event back slapping the shit out of Sting. Oh my god,
That was good. And he got
Disrespectful.
fined for that.
Yeah.
What are we fining people for fighting in the back? Oh my goodness, jeez.
Hey, this is keeping the same energy, man. Macho Man Randy Savage can't even be on TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Regal cuts a promo, basically saying he's going to beat Sting. Next up, more footage of WCW Saturday Night. Wow, they never show us this much footage of shit we missed. Never.
They literally showed us like months worth of WCW
Exactly.
Saturday Night on this video package.
Man, we're going all the way back to April. We're in June. You're showing us something from April of Chris Benoit confronting Arn Anderson about Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan is right there next to him. He pops in. He says, "Say it to my face." And then we see footage from May of Benoit and Arn again. Benoit saying, "I told you not to trust the Dungeon of Doom." Sullivan again interrupting, saying he specializes in slapping horsemen around. We got the replay of Slamboree, where Sullivan left Benoit high and dry. And a promo from June where Sullivan says at Great American Bash, he's going to squash that serpent for Rick and Arn. And you know what? Yeah, they're going all the way back to April, but at least finally some backstory to what we have been seeing that we didn't have any backstory to.
Thank you. Like, it was just like, yo, like, why are we just seeing this now? Like, what we saw at Slamboree would have made just a little bit more sense if you would have showed this previously. But I understand, to them, they need 2 hours to show stuff from shows that we missed.
Shit, we gotta fill time. Let's recap some shit. Taskmaster versus the debuting Prince Ayakea. Is that how you say it?
Yes, it is.
Confusing names.
Very, very well done. Very well done.
Thank you. Sullivan destroys him. Destroys him.
Yeah, this another power plant student who did something wrong, because this felt like hazing as well.
And then Sullivan and Jimmy Hart interview with Mean Gene. Jimmy Hart pleads to Sullivan. They don't need to be tied to the Horsemen. They're good with just Dungeon of Doom, and they got the Giant. They got the world champion. Sullivan is all over the place here. Says Hogan is coming back for all of them. Then brags about beating Brian Pillman for no reason. He says he quit. Just in case he's signing with WWE. Let's bury him first. Let's make sure everyone knows that he's a quitter.
Let's put some dirt on top of him. You know, he had his accident.
The poor guy just is lucky to be alive after a tragic accident, crazy accident.
Let's bury him.
Yeah. let's do what the accident didn't do. Let's bury him. Says he will get rid of Benoit, and then Hogan also, even though he teased Hogan coming back, beating up everyone.
Even though Hogan beat him and Arn in a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Weird promo by Sullivan. Weird. And he booked this shit.
Who booked this shit? He did. Oh.
We got the debut of the Rock and Roll Express. What is going on here?
This is like the weirdest fucking show ever. With Robert Gibson looking like he was like 62 years old in 1996. Like, my God. Like, Ricky Martin looks at least a little bit younger, but Robert Gibson has looked 60 years old for the past 25 years.
They're facing Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, and Rick and Arn are wearing jerseys of green and Monco. Then they have a little countdown on the ticker on the bottom of the screen with a little dynamite, very touching, to the top of the hour where pyro goes off, and they hand it off to Bischoff and Heenan on commentary.
In the middle of the fucking match.
Very distracting and completely unnecessary. What is the point of that? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh shit, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's a different show now.
You couldn't book this better to at least like before they ring the bell, like that goes off, and something like that.
They're still working out the kinks of the timing.
Yeah.
Brain leaves commentary well into this match to go say something to Woman and Elizabeth.
I think it was to tell Woman to stop screaming. Like, she was just over the top with her shouts and screaming. It was very distracting.
And Woman and Elizabeth were having fun at the VIP lounge, drinking up. And then Woman, eye rakes. I didn't see who's that? Is that
Robert Gibson?
Yeah, there you go. And DDT by Arn, dirty finish for the win. Bischoff tells Brain, "I know what you told Woman. I know." Back in the VIP after, Ric Flair says his jersey was a gift from Deborah McMichael. He tells the NFL they're bigger, faster, and they could go all night long.
Oh boy, trying to get in trouble. They're like, fuck it, we got the NBA on our channel.
Brain says he was simply telling Woman a good place she could go get her diamond shined.
What a nice guy.
Brain then whips out a trophy he got. I forgot what this trophy was for. Manager
the all Madden team, because he said he said to himself that he was no longer never gonna manage again, but then he pulls out the all Madden trophy, and he says that this is a trophy that he got for managing. He says that he even says on the back, manager Bobby Heenan. But at Great American Bash, he's going to be a coach. I think that he messed up the promo, and he meant to say that he was an All Madden on the All Madden team for coaching, but he got jumbled up in his words. But Bobby the Brain, great delivery nonetheless. And I thought the promo was a little bit fun. The match didn't have the heat that it probably necessitated for how long it went. Like, I'm used to, watching the old 80s matches with the Rock and Roll Express, and the build up to the Robert Gibson tag. The crowd is much hotter. This crowd kind of seemed like, oh, this is way too long. This is not what we're used to. This is not what we saw the whole first hour of 3-minute matches. This is going on 10, 12 minutes. This is way too long for us. We don't have this attention span after you gave us 4 back-to-back 3-minute matches. So,
well, that was the 8 o'clock hour. Now it's the 9 o'clock hour. Now we take things seriously. Here's some pyro.
Exactly. Now we're trying to beat WWE. So come on. But yeah, other than that, it was fine.
I like Brain's promo. I thought he made himself look like a big deal there. Like the fact that he's returning to manage or coach, whatever you want to call it, seems like a big deal because he's so good at it. Blood runs cold. Glacier is still coming to WCW. We don't know when.
This will go on for a while, ladies and gentlemen.
And then a third Hulk Hogan promo video. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Like, this just seems like it's not on the right show. Like, I was just like confused. Why are we getting another Hulk Hogan promo?
Just beating you over the head with it. Ice Train comes out. He's got a match.
I was gonna say this is actually Sat E Nyangi. This is Sat E before he grew his beard.
Yeah.
He was. This is why we had him on the Beware of Dog episode, because he is actually from the past.
Nice. He's facing, poor guy, the Giant.
Oh man!
And Jimmy Hart distracts Ice Train almost instantly, and Giant chokeslam for the win. Dirty finish. Scott. Oh, I did like Giant flexing here. Giant's having fun. Scott Norton, aka Fire, comes out to yell at the Giant, slap him. Giant then rightfully beats his ass. I don't know what he's mad about. Chokeslam. He gave him
He's like, why
chokeslam
you
twice.
getting up in my face?
Yeah.
You getting up in my
What the fuck are
face?
you?
I'm gonna give you two of these. Hold that.
Mad because your boy got distracted, man. Giant didn't do nothing.
Don't fuck with the Giant, yo.
Dumb move. With Mean Gene after, rightfully questions. Why are we running videos on Hulk Hogan and not the Giant?
Oh my God, the Giant may have secured MVP for that line alone because he asked the question that the viewer was thinking, like, why are we running video package for fucking Hulk Hogan? He's no longer in the picture.
Says he can't wait to get rid of that gnat, Lex Luger. Next up, we had Hugh Morris versus Scott Norton, who's still in the ring hurting. They barely give him enough time to get up after 2 choke slams. Hugh having fun, pins him with a finger and then stops at 2. He's having so much fun.
And then keeps asking him, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
It's very humorous.
It's humorous.
Oh.
It is humorous.
He tries his moonsault off the top rope. Norton tries to catch him.
And botches.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. And then he just
At all.
punches him 3 times for the win.
He just did like hammer fist. He hammer fisted him and then pinned him. 1, 2, 3.
Humorous looks awful. Awful there just for how easily that was to get beaten to a guy who just got chokeslammed twice.
Absolutely. When Hugh Morris it looks worse than Prince Iakea did earlier in the night, you know it's something.
Then we see Mongo and Kevin Green. They're training. They're game planning.
I feel like this is like if the number one jock in class was being taught by the number one idiot in the class. Like it's like neither one of you guys know what the hell you're talking about. What the hell? It's like if you're using math during English class. Like that's what it felt like these guys were doing.
Look at them drawing New Japan stick figures on the.
Look at that. You got Hiromu Takahashi. You got Will Ospreay there. Look at that.
They clearly need help. They need a coach or a manager. And they come up with the Macho Man just because Green is eating a Slim Jim. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? There you go. They're going to hit up Macho Man to coach them.
These guys are brilliant individuals, ladies and gentlemen. They're so smart. Trust me.
Main event, Steiner Bros versus Sting and Luger for the WCW tag titles. We got a phone call from Macho Man to the announcers, basically saying he accepts being a coach. Brain says, mind your business. And Macho Man says that's the weakest thing he's ever heard in his life.
That's the weakest thing I've ever heard in my life. He said, so it's official. He's going to be the coach of Green and Mongo.
The action in this match spills to the outside between Rick and Sting, and then the Giant interferes, choke slamming Rick on the outside. The ref calls for the match when the Giant makes his way to the ring. Dirty finish. Luger, Sting, and Scott all team up on the Giant to knock him over the ropes to a huge pop. What'd you think of all this?
I thought it was a good tag team match until the non-finish. I mean, they took away a little bit from the beginning, trying to focus on the Macho Man's phone call. You got 2 hours of television. I don't know why you couldn't fit this in not during the main event, but to each its own.
Very tiny picture-in-picture. Very tiny.
Very, very tiny picture-in-picture. I thought Giant had one of the worst choke slams I ever saw him do, mostly because Rick Steiner would not get up for it or wouldn't allow him to take control of his body. He's like, no, you will not take control of my body. You cannot Braun Breaker me. So yeah. I mean, and then the double team, the baby faces double teaming on the Giant, it made the Giant look more formidable because it took 3 guys to kind of take him out of the ring.
Yeah. And next up, the bad guy, Razor Ramon, pops up.
I've been wondering where he was.
He's
like, just relax, Chico. Ayo, Kendo. I had such a good time last week. I came back. You started. If you won the war, you got it.
And he also mentions we are coming for a war. And Eric again is like, who's we? Who's we? Sting coming back from his match, confront him. Bischoff tries to play peacemaker. Sting says, you said some horrible things about WCW, but you in the jungle, baby. You want 3 of the best? I don't see 2 of you. Sting then challenges for a one-on-one right now. Razor. We're just going to call him Razor. We're going to keep calling him Razor. That's what WWF thinks he is. So we'll call him Razor. Says, you got to fight, but nobody tells him what to do and Chico when to do it. Toothpick. Sting hits him with a slap after he gets hit with a toothpick. Razor says, okay, you got a big surprise.
No, he said, I got a big surprise.
Big surprise. What can it be? What a great cliffhanger ending. And if you're watching Raw, you know what his surprise is going to be.
Exactly. WWF already told you what the surprise was going to be. I thought that Sting looked like a badass here, being the first guy to stand up to Scott Hall and make the save for Eric Bischoff. I thought Scott Hall, Razor looked great here in his approach and his promo, and still keeping the Razor Ramon aesthetics. So good stuff all around, and a great cliffhanger to the show, and it would definitely make me tune in next week.
From the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWF lawyers also sent a letter to Scott Hall informing him he's infringing on WWF's intellectual property by portraying the Razor Ramon character, and they will withhold all future payments, merchandise checks, pay-per-view payoffs, until the matter is settled. The text of the letter. Oh, I have the letter right here. Dear Mr. Hall, this letter will serve to put you on notice of your deliberate infringement of Titan's intellectual property rights in connection with your appearance. Having reviewed the tape of your appearance, the text of the various statements made by you during your appearance, and the explicit references to past and ongoing storylines of Titan Sports, it is obvious that you were attempting by your appearance to suggest to the consuming public that you and others from the WWF were now going to appear on Turner Network's and WCW program as some part of some interpromotional matches. The entire theme of the program, buttressed by WCW personnel afterwards, was that WWF wrestlers were going to be wrestling WCW performers, and that you were leading a group of WWF talent in that effort. This is, of course, completely false and was intended to confuse the viewing public. To further this attempt to mislead and confuse the public, you stayed completely within the character portrayal of Razor Ramon, a registered trademark of Titan Sports. Indeed, both you and WCW personnel never even mentioned the name you intended to wrestle under at WCW, choosing instead to tell the audience they knew who you were. You dressed like Razor Ramon. You utilized the Hispanic accent given to you by Titan as part of this character portrayal. This is great. There's more. Titan, of course, has no objections whatsoever to you portraying a new or different character, devised either by you or WCW, and exercises its rights in connection with your attempt to pawn off or suggest to the public that you're Razor Ramon in the capacity of a WWF wrestler. Accordingly, this is to advise you that Titan has exercised its rights under the contract it had with you and will be withholding future payments from this until this matter is further clarified. Titan further reserves all rights it has to take any and all further action as may be appropriate. What a letter trying to scare this guy, the bad guy. Good luck. Good luck. What's right with Nitro? What did you think of that letter?
Oh man, that letter was great. WWF are so insecure. They are so insecure. They're so petty at this point. They are really shaking in their little space boots about Scott Hall and Kevin Nash being in WCW.
Yep. Survey says yes, they are. 4 dirty finishes. Match of the night, I'll go with Steiner's and Lex and Sting, even though I wish I could have seen more of it instead of so much of it in a little box.
I'm going with Flair and Arn versus Rock and Roll Express.
MVP, I'm going to go Lex Luger and the Giants for both being pretty logical tonight.
I'm going with Sting and the Giant because Sting looked like a badass at the end. And the Giant dominant performance once again, and only person making sense with the Hulk Hogan vignettes.
LVP, I have Disco Inferno.
Wow, how dare you? How dare you? He had to save himself from doing this, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely Hugh Morris, or no, I went with a three-way co-LVP for Hugh Morris and High Voltage, because High Voltage did something wrong and they got the shit beat out of them.
We'll put our thumbs out, and in 3, 2, 1, it'll be thumbs up or thumbs down for this Nitro. 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for me. Thumbs up from SP3.
Yes, I thought this was a thumbs up show. The nice cliffhanger, some good wrestling between the two tag matches, Arn and Flair and the Rock and Roll Express, and Sting and Luger and the Steiners. The first hour, you can throw that in the bin, but the second hour more than made this a thumbs up show.
The rating last week, Nitro did a 2.8. What do you think they did this week?
3.0.
Correct. 3.0. Well done. So in the ratings war, Nitro wins third week in a row. They're up 17-16 with 2 ties. And on the True Rewind scoreboard, WCW, the better show this week, they are up 21-14. 3 touchdowns to 2.
Oh, man. The touchdown lead right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so that brings us to an end on the June 3rd, 1996 editions of WWF Raw, WCW Nitro. Next week, Nitro, we have the Go Home Show for the Great American Bash. We have more King of the Ring tournament over on WWF. So there is plenty to look forward to on True Rewind. So we got to bring things to a close. And one more time, got to remember, folks, that we're going to have even more content for you to enjoy, not just here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, but now on Patreon, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Romeo, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. Do you want to give them like an extra of this edition of True Rewind to enjoy on Patreon? Maybe just 5-10 minutes. We talk about anything that stood out opinion wise on these two shows.
Sure.
So you got that to look forward to. Our first Patreon post, it's going to be True Rewind 58 Extra, some extra chocolate so you could taste it in your mouth, and it will melt in your mouth and not in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to drop a thumbs up on this video. Of course, if you're watching us live, we want to hear your thoughts on the episode in the live chat. Me and Romeo will try our best to answer any questions that you got in the live chat while you're watching this. Of course, if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comment section below what you thought about the June 3rd, 1996 editions of Raw and Nitro, and what you thought was the better show for the week. Romeo, please let the people know where they can find you on social media and what's on tap on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
Please follow me, True Hill Romeo, on Twitter and Instagram. I am very, very entertaining, I assure you. Here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel tonight, we are doing a watch along for the WWE Draft Night 2. Rated Raw Superstars number 21 will be me, Drunk Guy JJ. Top Guy JJ will join us since he lost his bet with the Titans and the Jets. And I will be there with all my draft grades. Some call me the Mel Kiper of wrestling. I will continue these grades very strictly on Fox and USA. Tuesday, we've got a new NX3 2.0 covering NXT 2.0. Check out that. And Wednesday, we will have a Dynamite anniversary watch along. Join us for that as well. And let me see here. Yeah, that's it for me for now. We'll see if there's a Friday Night Warriors. Just stay tuned to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
And we will definitely let you know. You can find me on the Twitter machine at True Heel SP3. Later today, I'll be joining Sat E Niang Yi over on Wrestling Daily at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK. You can also see me there on the Wrestling Daily YouTube channel on Wednesday with Alex McCarthy, on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel on Friday, following SmackDown and Rampage on Smack Talk with Rick Ucchino, and our special guest from True Hill Heat 145, a Dutch Mantel, and of course right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel on Thursday. We got the AEW Dynamite review, AE Ramble, with myself, Jimmy Macaram, and Marcus Cash reviewing the AEW Dynamite 2nd anniversary show. On Friday, I'll be here on the Dark Side of the Ring, Johnny K9.
Yes.
Johnny K9 episode. We'll be reviewing that, me, myself, and Miss Chrissy Love. And then on Saturday, it's another big edition of True Heel Heat as we have another legendary special guest, legendary manager of all the stars, whether it be John Cena, Bobby Lashley. He is the star maker, the king, Kenny Bolin on True Heel Heat 146. Will pick his brain about his knowledge of professional wrestling, all the history, all the guys that he's helped start up in their careers during his time in OVW, maybe some stories about Mr. Jim Cornette, his good friend. So looking forward to that Saturday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. And like I said before, patreon.com/True Heel Heat. We got J News Japan G1 Climax 31 special part 1 with myself and J News later this week. We're going to have pictures and live video from AEW Dynamite and second anniversary. I'm even working on getting some pictures and content from MLW's big show from over the weekend, Fightland. So there is a lot for you to enjoy on Patreon. And of course, looking forward to True Rewind 58 Extra Cut with myself and Romeo. You can check that out later today. So drop a like on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode and Raw and Nitro from June 3rd, 1996. And of course, if you're new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So for Romeo, it is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been True Rewind, episode 58.
Are you corpsing?
The taste of chocolate. We are signing off until next time.